The moment we were alone, he said this to me. You should know that I have other dogs. Dogs not confined to this fine institution. Others? Yes, very loyal dogs who will do anything I ask of them. Of course, he wasn't talking about the real dogs. He's talking about his very human cronies. And then he said one last thing. I would recommend that you take care in how you treat me during my stay here. I wouldn't want to have to set my dogs on you, or your precious family. I had no choice. I gave him that cell. I gave him everything he asked for. Everything. Wait, is that how he became the fixer? Yes, darling. I obeyed his every command and smuggled in for him all that he wanted. Eventually, I brought my sweet Frankie into our little conspiracy. He agreed right away, of course, but because I made things easier for him too. So you were smuggling in contraband. How exactly? Once a week, late at night, Frankie would shut off the breakers. That allowed me to go in from my office into the yard without being seen by the camera. And I simply drop off the packages down the well to put it aside and went back through the fence. Each one of them spritzed with a little of my perfume. The sweet smell is her perfume, huh? So what sweet smell was? Yes, it was a signal from the Canis dog. When he picked up the scent, he would fetch the packages and bring them back to his master. But who killed Knight then? Like, are you just like there was no way Knight had to have been dead already. Like Knight died from the stab wound, and it was still in his neck when he was suspended by the contraption, and then dropped down. We had to make sure Rocco wasn't in his cell at the time, of course. Can't have been easy. Can't have been easy for keeping him from finding out. Oh, well, very much creatures of habit here at the prison, darling. Everything runs on to a schedule. Meals, exercise hours, that sort of thing. We knew when he wasn't there. The adorable little bear of his freezes with fright at the sight of Kindness's dog. The poor thing. So there was no risk of him raising the alarm either. She had oversight over everything here at the prison, which made her the perfect mule. With her on his side, Canis couldn't fail. Frankie wouldn't sneak out again early in the morning to switch out those breakers back on. And our work was done. Apart from fixing time codes on the camera, which I would do later, when I got the chance. You have shared a great deal, Warden. The Goddess of Justice will surely take your honesty into account. I've been the most dreadful fool I know I have. I suppose to be in charge of one. The day of Knight's murder was also one of our delivery days. And so Frankie, bless his heart, did his usual work with the breakers. But there was no package for me to deliver that day, so I didn't go into the yard. So that's the secret behind the Fixer's system, and why she was. The police have been trying to track down his accomplices. Yes, we know. That's why you were interrogating Mr. Canis over and over. Exactly. I was trying to track down those horrible hench people of his. I borrowed everything the police had on that rotten scoundrel. I watched his every move, intercepted every letter he wrote. His letters. And I suppose you must know about his corresponding chess games, too. But no matter what I did, I could not turn up any clues as to who his underlings were. Living in fear like this, it's... Oh, you cannot comprehend it. Knight had to have been one of them. That's it. That's why she killed him. Knight's one of his accomplices. Just as you have heard yourself, Mr. Edgeworth. The words of Warden Lagarde's confession have cleansed her of all suspicion. Surely there is no need to hound her any longer. Has she really been cleared of all suspicion, though? Or is there more about her to uncover? There's more. I'm sorry, Order, but this conversation isn't over yet. And I think Goddess of Justice would agree. So you mean to make her suffer even more than she has already? Unfortunately, her suffering under Mr. Connors does nothing to prove her innocence in Knight's murder. She admitted herself that she knew of and even facilitated the so-called Fixer's delivery route. I believe she used the same route to move Knight's body. And where is your evidence? It is in fact the sweet smell of Knight's body. It's the exact same scent Warden Lagarde uses to signal the delivery. What do you make of that? Well, that's because we've done it so many times by now that the whole, well, probably smells of it. Some of it must have just rubbed off on his body. That does match the statement that Mr. Casarado provided. Yes. His words would seem to suggest that the smell had permeated as well. You've been rendered speechless, I see. And I hereby move to adjourn this session of the court. Oh, what do we do now, Mr. Edgeworth? What can I do? Is this as far as we go? Finally, so we're actually done. Yes, Eustace, it seems we are. By the power vested in me, this court is adjourned. Who was that? Hey, Fender, what do you got? Come on, Judgy. Things are just getting good. Fender. Are you objecting to my adjourning of this session? No. I would have shouted objection if I wanted to do that. You do you, G. Adjourn. Don't adjourn. Whatever floats your boat. What are you doing, Mr. Fender? Don't worry about what I'm doing. Let's all just take a chill pill, shall we? By which I mean a square chocolatey goodness, anyone? Are you trying to get yourself charged with contempt of court? No, my bad. I just had a quick request to make is all. As Simon Saint's lawyer, that is. Yes. I'd forgotten that you were his real attorney, Mr. Fender. How could you? You're killing me. Yeah. Do you blame us? We're making Mr. Edgeworth do everything this whole time. Right you are. Which is why I'd figure it's time to put in some work. Work, you say? Somehow I don't believe you've worked a day in your life. Let's just say this is me doing my prep work for the upcoming trial. Mind if I question the witness? Now, amusing, but what is there left to ask? I've got a funny feeling in my bones. That Fiefs here has something more to tell us about the killer. Do I? Yes, indeed. He is a major player on Team Simon. I can spot a sympathizer when I see one. And you don't think he did it, do you? So tell us who did. Come on, spill the beans. We're all ears. directors? What's he doing? I think he's trying to. I think maybe there is there a way that like she get like Connor found out that Knight was arrested and he's like, hey, you bring him to me. I want to kill him. Is there a way that's possible? It could be. He's trying to coax Warden the God into giving something away. Ask yourself, why would she go to all the trouble of sending Knight's body on such an odd journey? Because she wanted to frame Mr. Connors. She did? No way. If he was convicted of committing a murder here, that could have been ground for a transfer to another prison. Most likely a more secure facility. Where he'd be out of her hair forever, huh? Precisely. She saw an opportunity and seized it. No, no, no. Saint can't not be the killer. That's not fair. I was already prosecute him. I know, right? Maybe we should just find out what she thinks first. Don't want to get the wrong guy, yeah? Nice. Now Mr. Winter has to go along with it too. Well, Warden, are you happy to testify further? Of course. How could I refuse the silver-tongued devil? Eddikins, you have such a way with words. Just doing my job, eh? Chief? Besides, one can tell the truth without telling the whole truth, can't one? I'm simply dying to tell all. Verily, darling, do say you'll let me. As you wish. Court is unadjourned. I can't believe you pulled that off, Mr. Fender. Me either. Thank you for the timely intervention. Hey, it's the least I could do. Case not wrong. I've been leaning on you hard. And besides, the defense never rests, Amate. Simon's dependent on us. Sadly, I think it's about just exhausted all my reserves for cool Lord Cat there. And we can't foul this up now. Which means you're up to bat miles with mixed miles. Show 'em up. You'll never rest. I shall. Fabulous, then let's get started. I really don't think anyone could have done it but that dreadful man Canis. There's no telling what went on between him and the victim. Perhaps he simply took a disliking to him. He's certainly the type. But whatever sordid details, he stabbed the poor man to death. Then had his dog disposed of the body. That simply has to be what happened. There's a problem with that. The victim, Mr. Knight, yes. It did him the most terrible disservice. Yes, you killed him. I suppose you could put it that way. If I want such a sorry excuse for a warden, this would never have happened. And that's why I have to clean up this terrible mess. Warden Lagarde, as ever your honesty is truly your credit. I'm certain Mr. Knight is looking down and weeping tears of gratitude. You've clearly never met Mr. Knight.
Hold it!
Knight was being kept in a holding cell while Mr. Connors was in the prison proper. What could possibly have happened between them when they were opposite ends of the facility? Prisons aren't as big as they seem, you know. All kinds of awful things can happen. But Knight only arrived 2 days ago, 2 days before he was murdered. I can't imagine anything significant happening in that short space of time. Then, you don't know how no Canis, my dear. He'll find a way, I'm sure of it.
Hold it!
How could he take a disliking to somebody all the way over in the holding cells? Oh, I'm just plucking possibilities out of the air, darling. As I said, there's no telling what really went on between them. You're not so awfully serious, are you? Not that I mind, of course. Why is she looking at me like that? So noble, so dashing, in that marvelous suit, so clever. I can feel myself becoming your biggest fan, darling. I really can. Stay with me, Mr. Edgeworth. I wasn't prepared for that mental onslaught.
Hold it!
What more can you tell us about those sordid details? Well, all I know is what Canis once did for a living. I doubt the killing part gave him much trouble. Especially as the victim was already injured. His neck, I think. Couldn't turn his head to the right. Poor dear, that's what they told me. And they brought him in anyway. They must make some sort of report for the warden when the new prisoners are admitted. You seem keen for us to think you didn't know much about Knight. That's because I didn't, sweetie. And the victim was simply a fun target to that mobster. Nothing more. I expect Canis used that chisel that was hidden in the chest set, don't you? The awfully grisly business. Just imagine the man probably didn't even have time to cry out. I see. Thank you for your thoughts. They were very helpful. Actually, I'd like to hear about them in a little more detail if you don't mind. Oh, Mr. Edgeworth, you're making me blush. I could chat with you all day. Oh, don't look so nervous, darling. I'm only teasing. Of course, we can talk about them some more.
Hold it!
And which chess set would that be precisely? Why, is the one the victim brought in, sweetie? Do try to keep up. The victim was a certified chess fanatic, or so I'm led to believe. But the naughty boy snuck a chisel inside it. Can you imagine? How did she know about the chisel in the chess set? Well, a few people were supposed to know about that. After all, we only learned about it thanks to certain deductions we made. So how did she find out? She was told. She had other info. Of course, in the hands of the killer Canis, even a chisel could serve as a deadly weapon.
Objection!
Warden Lagarde, you strike me as being more careful than the image you project suggests. Oh, Mr. Edgeworth, please call me Fifi, or Sweetie Pie if you prefer. However, I think you may have been a little less careful than you realize in this instance. Are you just the most adorable little creature? Don't be embarrassed, we're all family here. Come on, Mr. Edgeworth. Don't let her guard get inside your head. You said earlier that you didn't know much about Knight. In which case, I find it rather strange that you know about that chisel. Well, of course I do, darling. Do you think we don't check prisoners when they come in?
Objection!
You're not talking your way out of this, Warden. That is entirely irrelevant, and you know it. Knight didn't bring the chess set into the prison himself. It was brought by Mr. Saint when he came to visit. Knight would have had it with him when he wouldn't have had it with him when he arrived. What? Well, I mean, of course. That when Mr. Saint came in, we...
Objection!
Now, you checked him. I find that hard to believe, because if you did, that makes your story all the stranger. You found a chisel. Why did you not confiscate it there and then? Judge Gavel, did you tell anyone about the hidden compartment in the chess set? I did not. If no one leaked our findings, then how exactly did you learn about the chisel, Warden Lagarde? Because it certainly couldn't have been when you checked Mr. Knight or Mr. Saint on their arrival. Indeed, such a terrible thing would imply an international oversight. And if it had been found, yet let alone it let through. Precisely. So Warden Lagarde, and answer truthfully this time. Where and when did you learn about the test set? If you won't answer, then allow me. I submit that you... Alright, darling. There's no need to rub it in. You got me, alright? I questioned Knight. That was when I learned about the chess set. But please, you have to believe me. I did not kill him. One moment, Warden. This is a significant development. The court requests that you make a detailed statement on the record. Any objections, Mr. Edgeworth? None, Your Honor. Thank you. Thank you, darlings. I'll clear this whole awful misunderstanding, I promise. Very well. Go ahead, Warden Lagarde. And please tell the truth this time. The lies are starting to wear thin. This is a chance to expose her. I said I questioned Knight, but it wasn't anything serious, you understand. I make a point of talking to every newcomer to our little home. Knight was no different. We just had a little chat, you might call it. After we talked, I had him taken back to his cell straight away. The more she lies, the more thoroughly she seals her fate. So it was simply a conversation with the new detainee. That seems entirely above board. Exactly, Verity, darling. I knew you'd understand.
Objection!
Unfortunately, we disagree. Well, I don't. What proof do you have to back up your statement? I suppose we shall see, won't we, Mr. Edgeworth? You may begin your cross-examination.
Hold it!
How was he when you spoke with him? Oh, he was open and honest, darling. What? That guy? Honest? He was talking about one croissant and promoting a pawn. I suppose he must have been hungry. And pheasant and promoting a pawn. It seems he spared no one from his obsession with chess.
Hold it!
If he had really gone back to his cell, he would still be alive today. You really think that I murdered the poor man right there in my office, don't you? But what would my motive have been, darling? I told you I barely knew him. I'm no angel. I have my grudges against Canis, but Knight had nothing to do with that animal. She really does hate Canis. Warden Lagarde, I must insist that you append your statement to your testimony.
Objection!
And done. Got her. Judge Gabelle, I'd like you to take a look at this. Notes about a game of chess. What is the significance of this, Mr. Edgeworth? It was found in Knight's cell. Which is exactly where you said you saw it too, Warden Lagarde. But you didn't just see the game in Knight's cell, did you? You've seen it in Mr. Canis' cell too. What do you mean?
Objection!
Oh, come on, come now. Don't tell me you haven't taken a look at the chessboard in the maximum security. I imagine you watch his every move like a hawk. Or rather, I imagine... I hit the wrong button. Or rather, I imagine you feel that doing so is your only option. She wants to find out who his cronies are, right? Personally interrogating your own prisoners is highly irregular, to say the least. But as you said, Mr. Canis had threatened you. He put your precious home at risk. That's why you took it upon yourself to question him. You wanted to find out who his dogs were. And so what if I did? You also told us that you read his letters, which means you must have known about one key fact. You knew he was playing correspondence chess. And then who should appear but Knight, carrying with him a diagram of a very particular game. We ourselves used that diagram to infer a connection between the two men. And it seems you came to the same conclusion. But in your fear, you took your reasoning one step further. You surmised that Knight was Mr. Connors' henchman sent to kill him. Which is a real reason she had that chat with the Bronxster. If the boss wouldn't crack, maybe he would. And when you questioned Knight, you made another discovery. For the inside of the chess set, you found a hidden chisel. The murder weapon itself. As far as you were concerned, that chisel meant one thing: Connors. Thus, you convinced yourself that Knight was working for Connors, and that's why you killed him. I say you have no more excuses. Duke Lavelle, your verdict, please. Much as it grieves me, there would appear to be little room for doubt. I hereby give my verdict. Bronco Knight was murdered by... Yeah, she's not done yet. In the name of Goddess of Justice, who is it this time? Ooh, do you? Warden. Is it a joke? It's all a big stupid joke. You people just don't get it, do you? I think we've proven that it is you who do not understand things correctly. Me? Please, darling. I understand it all perfectly. Perfectly well, thank you very much. And I understand that there is a glaring contradiction in your theory, Mr. Edgeworth. You're just grasping at straws now. I have no time for this. Your Honor, the verdict.
Overruled.
Of course, Gaval's just gonna be like, oh, no. She has an excuse. I'm just gonna skip over to that. Yep, nope, no verdict. I am curious as to what the warden has to say. What? You're a dull, Verity. I just have one last thing to say, that Mr. Edwards can declare himself the winner. Your reign? Does anybody remember such an autopsy report? Of course, we received a finalized version only this morning. What's gonna be your excuse? No. What exactly did it say? 3 a.m. and 6 a.m. on the 27th. Instant death. Stabbing to the throat. Wound was 4 inches deep. Blade. Yeah. That's right, and I was listening to what you told us about it, Verity, even if nobody else was. You said the wound was 4 inches deep. 4 inches? Wait. It doesn't mean this, Mr. Edwards. How does a tiny chisel make a 4-inch wound? Forgive me, O goddess. I came perilously close to making a terrible mistake. Looks like your theory is the one who that doesn't hold water, Mr. Edgeworth. What now? What do we do? It'll be fine, Mr. Edgeworth always comes through. Right, sir? Looks to me like the Maelstrom's out of commission. You're an attorney too, aren't you? Why don't you do something? Something's on her head with a desperate plot. Burn some first mind-blowing thing that comes out of you. Look, detective, I'm much of a man of action. I'm as much of a man of action as the next guy. Without evidence, we're up to the creek without paddle there. Might be the end of the road. Oh, it's in the alligator. It's in the alligator's stomach. That's where it is. It's in the alligator's stomach. That's where it is. She gave it to the alligator to hide it. I'm certain that Warren Lagarde is the killer. It's the only explanation that fits the facts of the case. The chisel wasn't a murder weapon. What other blade and weapon is there in this facility? It seems we still do not have all the answers, nor the evidence to prove those answers. Alas, we must wait for the trial to see this matter resolved, I am afraid.
Objection!
Ah, come on, G. You're just giving the killer a chance to destroy the evidence.
Overruled!
Are you calling the judicial process into question, Mr. Fender? Nope, not me. Nuh-uh. I tried, Miles. Any bright ideas? What is the real murder weapon? This is clearly not a chisel. Confound it. This question throws everything we've deduced out the window. Nothing to add, Mr. Edgeworth. Allow me to remind you. The claims not supported by sufficient evidence are subject to her set of penalties. It's hopeless. I can't think of anything. I need more time. Loads as I made it, I am... Can't give up now, Now. Remember what Mr. Fender said. Simon's counting on us. Without us, he's... Remember how upset he was? He was devastated. Nobody's in more pain than him over Mr. Knight's death. There's no way he did it. But if we can't save him, who will? And what's more, he believes in us. He's sitting in that cell waiting for us to bring him some good news. And I, for one, won't walk away until we have some. Okay. Gee, Miles, your little buddy there is quite the motivational speaker. And she's right, too. You find yourself on the ropes. Maybe you'll climb. Picture them pleading with you to help them. I'm gonna make you want to fight back as hard as you can until the very end. Think of your old man, good old Gregory. No matter how bad things look, he'd always find a way to turn it around and save his client. You're just like him, right? Is there any way to force a turnabout here? You're the one who'll find it. Simon's counting on you. It's the freaking alligator! Judge Gravel. You seem to have recovered your composure, Mr. Edgeworth. But if you mean to attempt a defense, I would advise you to consider the ramifications. You have repeatedly proposed misguided theories, and have made numerous false accusations. If you do so again, I will have no choice but to judge you as unfit to serve as a prosecutor, and relieve you of your badge for good. She's right. I have to put forward a number of theories, I put forward a number of theories that proved to be flawed in one way or another. I've made some sort of fundamental oversight. Wait. She said that my theories were misguided. Nothing to say? Then the court will tolerate no more of your time wasted. I hereby... Sir! Mr. Edgeworth! Give my verdict. That's it. I've been thinking about it the wrong way all this time. My theories weren't misguided. I was being misled. The defendant, Simon Saint. I think it's a little soon for that, Your Honor. I'd say it's well past due, darling. Wouldn't you agree, Verity? Mr. Edgeworth, you may proceed. What? I'd like to remind you of a few things. The sighting of the dog, Helmut, the fact that he wasn't at the show, and the other factors that made Mr. Connors the obvious suspect at first.
Overruled!
This again, Mr. Edgeworth. You seem almost proud of your blunder.
Hold it!
But what if the real killer wanted us to suspect Mr. Connors? What if it was all carefully arranged? And what if the same was true of the chisel, our purported murder weapon? Knight had been stabbed multiple times in the same place with a bladed instrument. But what if he was stabbed with the chisel after the real murder weapon had been removed? Just to leave traces of blood on it for us to find. That was how the killer misled us into thinking the chisel was a murder weapon. But why mislead us in that way? Why indeed? Why make us think that the chisel is a murder weapon rather than what it really was? Warden, you took advantage of what the chisel seemed to suggest. What it suggested? Are you talking about? What are you talking about, darling?
Hold it!
Mr. Winner, if I were to tell you the murder weapon was a chisel, what would you think? Huh? Mr. Connors is a killer. And there you have it. That was a trap the warden had set for us. Oh, Mr. Connors has a bunch of chisels, so she wanted us to think it was one of his, right? Indeed. That was her plan from the start. To frame Bohida Connors. Your reasoning would appear to be sound. One Lagarde certainly seems to harbor a deep and abiding hatred for Mr. Connors. However, I think you're going to know what I'm going to say next. That alone is not sufficient proof that Warden Lagarde is the killer. I knew that it wouldn't be enough. There is one thing that will prove it. The real murder weapon that we now know must exist. If you cannot prove your theory, then this conversation ends here.
Objection!
If we could just find the real murder weapon.
Objection!
How many times do we have to just go over this? We searched the prison from top to bottom. Eustace is quite correct. There was a possible murder weapon has been found, so I'm afraid you're at a bit of an impasse.
Objection!
I can still prove my case yet, Your Honor, because it's still here inside this prison. This would have made sure of that. The security gate? I'm glad you at least remember what it is. And you remember what it does. Of course I do. I'm not an idiot. The security gate detects metal. Which means you can't bring anything metal into the prison or take it out. Oh! Precisely. If there is another murder weapon, it cannot have been taken off the premises. But nor can it have been brought into the prison in the first place. And so we find ourselves right back where we began. Judge Cavell. What I am trying to tell you, Mr. Edgeworth, is that if you wish for me to believe that there's another murder weapon here in the prison, you will also have to explain how it got here. Alright. We know that the chisel was smuggled into the prison inside a pocket chest set. But our contention is that the chisel is not a real murder weapon. So the weapon came from outside the facility, then there must have been a way to bring it in. Yes, the question of this hour is this. Can you show me this alternative route? How did a weapon Warden Lagarde use to get into the prison? The borrowed evidence. He has all of Connors' It's Connors' knife. Of course, that's how. The fact that this is here with us shows up.
Take that!
Allow me to remind you of a conversation with Mr. Connors yesterday. As you see, there is a way for objects to be brought into the prison unscrutinized. As part of the evidence Warden Lagarde borrowed from the police. What? Mr. Connors' knife was part of the evidence in the case against him, and the evidence was here in the prison. Not only that, but the knife had a certain bell attached to it. The bell that was attached to the chisel. Correct. The killer took the bell from the knife and attached it to the chisel. But that can't be right. The chisel only had Mr. Knight's fingerprints on it. Easy enough to explain if the killer wore gloves. She made it look like as if the chisel was a murder weapon, then attached it to the bell. In doing so, she made sure that all the evidence pointed to Mr. Connors. And who had access to the evidence from which the bell was taken? Why, only the person who had been entrusted. Who was it, sir? Who's been messing around with the evidence? I believe that would be you. Isn't that correct, Warden the Guard? Bells aren't exactly rare. No, anybody could have set that up. Nope. Unluckily for you, that isn't quite true. These particular bells are unique, because there are only 2 of them in existence. What? By attaching that bell to the chisel, you as good as declared yourself the killer. But you don't have any proof that the knife was ever even here to begin with. I don't. Not yet, anyway. Mr. Winter, I'd like you to order another search of the prison right away. Huh? If you find something that's going to make things awkward for me. This isn't about what's convenient for you. We have to find the truth. You're a prosecutor, aren't you? Well, yeah, but you know. This is a worthless excuse for a prosecutor. If I had investigative authority, I wouldn't be sitting on it. Anyhow, that's not my decision to make. The warden would have to authorize it. You know full well that she will do no such thing. You have the power to insist on a search. Use it. I'm sorry, darling, but not without that evidence. The goddess of justice cannot bestow her blessing on those who lack the proof to support their claim. Can we point out it's in the alligator, please? Our work here is done. The rest of this matter will have to be settled in the courtroom. No. We give the court the opportunity to destroy whatever evidence is left. I have to object. I have to stop them. What do I say? I don't have anything concrete to offer. What am I thinking? I'm never this reckless. No, I can't back down now. I've got to put everything on the line. I'm not a prosecutor right now. I'm an associate attorney with a client to defend. Only I can save Mr. Saint, and that means... If my chances are 1,000,000 to 1, it's still worth a shot. It's now or never. Should I object? Objection! I suppose this must be how a certain serial bluffer always feels. Hey, Phoenix, I am following in your lead. Thank you for everything. Regardless, I cannot walk away.
Objection!
Wait, Your Honor. This had better be good, Mr. Edgeworth. I've got it. Got what exactly? The real murder weapon, of course. I know where Mr. Connis's knife is. Do you really, Mr. Edgeworth? I do. Not at all. If I did not know any better, I would say that you are bluffing. You wound me, Your Honor. I do not know the meaning of the word. It's terrible for my heart. There's no way you could. It's not here, I tell you. Well, would you be so kind as to enlighten us? Where is the real murder weapon? Think, Miles, think. Somewhere not even the police would search. A blind spot in this zoo. A hiding place that the warden could be absolutely sure of. A hiding place. No. It was in the dog's mutt, so the knife's in got the gator's mutt. Ha ha ha. Did she use the same trick? No, that's ridiculous, isn't it? But the more I think about it, How many foolproof ways to evade detection could there be? Mr. Edgeworth, how long do you intend to keep us waiting? There's the faintest possibility I'm right. But if I'm wrong, we stand to lose everything. Your Honor, this is where the real murder weapon is hidden.
Take that!
Here, in the yard? Indeed. I don't believe I understand. Would you care to explain a little more? Where exactly is the real murder weapon hidden?
Take that!
Of course. That's what it must have been. The metal detector was reacting to something inside her after all. Your Honor, I'd like to remind you of this piece of evidence. The chisel? Didn't we just figure out that it isn't the murder weapon? You might recall that Mr. Connors hid this chisel in his dog's mouth. Would you believe the real murder weapon was hidden in much the same way? That's right. The murder weapon is inside the alligator in the pond over there. What? No way! We detected the presence of a metallic object during our earlier investigation. Look, Cavell, we need to know what's inside that alligator. Understood. Then we will need to summon a veterinarian. I'm sure I could get the sweeties to open up for us. I'd be happy to give it a try. Please, by all means. Warn the guard. The real murder weapon is about to be revealed. Why not do the right thing and confess? I have nothing to confess. As you wish. You can simply wait and watch as your lies are exposed. Sir, we got it. This has to be it. It's over, Fifi the God. The real murder weapon was Bohodi Karma's... But in Armad Karnas' known, making you the only person who could have killed Bronco Knight. I'm not a criminal here. It's all this Karnas is doing. All I did the right thing. Knight was a threat. He's Karnas' dog. Curse the despicable man Karnas. Why did he have to come here and ruin my perfect little home? He could have been happy forever. It wasn't for him. He ruined my paradise on earth. He ruined everything. He cursed him. Curse that pitiless butcher. That awful, terrible, despicable man. Curse him. Oh boy. Prosecutor Winter. Sir, the test results just come back. To Winter? Guess we've all been under a lot of stress. Traces of Bronco Knight's blood were found on Mr. Connors' knife. Just like you said, sir. Congratulations on a stunning victory. Of course, officer. Excellent work. You can continue complimenting me if you like. Yes, sir, the winner. The winner wins again. I think I'm welling up a little. With the rage. Excellent work, Eustace. A few loose ends to tie up and we're done. Huh? What are you talking about? I solved the case, didn't I? We have yet to confirm whether or not Knights really was working for Mr. Conus. I don't think that's relevant. That doesn't really matter if Knight was actually working for Conus. It would be vital to know if one of the guard was simply jumping to conclusions on that front. Not really. in case of Bronco's death, doesn't matter if he was connected to Candace or not. She still killed him. There's Clueless, and then there's you. Well, I guess I better get back to our investigation. All right, officer, you're with me. You're about to see the winner win a whole lot more. Prepare to witness first-rate investigative talent in action. Yes, sir. I'm right with you, sir. I can't wait to watch you work. It's winning time. I expect this case will cause quite a stir. The attempted murder of a president is enough. It's news enough. And now this would-be assassin has been murdered. But Knight never sought to kill the president in the first place. The truth is not always as important as it might seem, Mr. Edwards. Why are they hiding what really happened on that plane? Why are they hiding it? What's going on? The eyes of both society and the law. How can you even say that? You do not have to believe me. However, as a prosecutor, Miles Mr. Edwards is obliged to accept that this is the reality of the world he operates in. Being a prosecutor is about more than proving people guilty. That is what I believe. We are all free to believe as we choose, but the law is not to be toyed with for our own personal goals. If you refuse to accept this, then you must prepare to suffer the consequences. Dude, what is her problem? What does that even mean? Wait, you're not gonna take his... I'm afraid I must be going now. Farewell, Mr. Edwards. Judge Cavell is right. There must be only one set of laws for everyone. But if following the law means sacrificing the truth, can I really do that in good conscience? Simon, you're out. Hi, Regina. Everything's all right. They did let you out, right? Yeah. I'm so confused as to what's going on. I said I was free to go. And I have Mr. Edwards to thank. Yeah, you sure do. Mr. Edwards found out who the real killer is. Wow, really? You did that for me, Mr. Edwards? Oh, no. Stop staring at me like that. I'm innocent, I swear. Don't pull the rug out from under me now. Stop it, silly. It's true. He saved you. So say thanks to him already. Oh, okay. Thank you, Mr. Edwards. Thank you. And a great big Regina berry. Thank you for me, too. Mr. Saint talking directly to me. Small victories, I suppose. Can I just ask you one question, Mr. Attorney? Sure. I'm not actually an attorney, though. I thought Bronco was my friend. No, my best friend. I trusted him, but now... But now? Well, it's just... I never knew. I never would have believed that he could hate someone enough to want to kill them. Because something like that from me, he never really trusted me, did he? It's not true, Simon. Of course he trusted you. No, he didn't. If he had just told me, I could have stopped him. Could have told him that hate never helps. That he had to let go of all that stuff. Mr. Saint, I think you're forgetting something. Is it a chess set? It has to be, right?
Take that!
It's the chest that I brought for him. Knight had hidden a chisel inside. I imagine he meant to use it to escape. What? You mean he was using me? No. He believed in you. He knew that he could count on you to bring it, and that you would never be so untrusting as to look inside. I imagine that by not telling you, he was hoping he could keep you from getting caught up in this mess. Oh. Bronco, why didn't you tell me? At least you understand now, right, Simon? I'm sure he does. Maybe he may not show it, but Simon's no dummy. Good night's sleep, and he'll be completely over this whole thing by tomorrow. That's not as complimentary as you think it is. I'll try. I have to. For Bronco. I have to show him that I can become the best animal trainer out there. That's the spirit. Oh, I almost forgot. We're doing a new show soon. I'd love for you to come, Mr. Edgeworth. I'll be joining Regina on stage for this one. That's right. The Very Big Circus is the biggest, most fabulous event in town. You'll have oodles of fun. Sounds great, doesn't it, Mr. Edgeworth? Come on, we have to go. Well, I'll think about it. Alright, Simon. We've got some training to do. I think it's time for you and Regent to get acquainted. Regent to Tiger? No way, I can't, no. Oh, you'll be fine, silly. You'll never meet a nicer kitty cat. I can't. Please, Regina, anything with that, please. Another satisfied customer. Well, that was really something, Smiles. Talk about pulling it out of the bag. I couldn't have done it without you, Fender. Without your timely intervention, she would have gotten away. Besides, I have you to thank for even being able to investigate the case in the first place. Well, stop it. Pat me on the back any harder and you're gonna make me blush, or topple over. I suppose it would be asking too much for you to take me this seriously. Seriously, Miles, my friend, I'm always serious. Anyway, how does it feel to save an innocent client? That's all it means to be an attorney, after all. To be an attorney. I gotta say, I had a blast. It reminded me of the good old days. Like Gregory was standing there right beside me. It's felt like a zillion years since I felt like this. Warm and fuzzy on the job. That's good. Bittersweet? I'm not sure. Hey, Miles. You ever thought about going into the defense game full time? Excuse me? Miles becoming a defense attorney? No, sorry. Doesn't happen. You know, pick up where Gregory left off. Get out there and actually help people. Hey, pal, don't get any big ideas. Mr. Edgeworth ain't about to switch sides. Why not? Coming over to the light side's all the rage. Everybody's doing it these days. Come on, Mr. Fender. You know it's not about that. Chill, team, chill. Don't get it twisted. I was just asking a perfectly innocent question. The heck you were. Looks like you got a mean defense team with you still, Miles. Fender, I am a prosecutor. Yep, and I'm an attorney. You could be one too. I'm serious. Well, I've said my piece. If you change your mind, you know who to call. I'll be waiting. Following my father's footsteps. Could I really do such a thing? I'm gonna become a defense attorney just like my dad. An attorney like my father. Me.